So we're going to record a macro and see how the macro function works. What you need to do is open up the sales ranking spreadsheet. So from your raw exercise files, open up the sales ranking spreadsheet, which is this. What a macro does, it creates a little program like a software where you can record a series of functions, and when you press a key, an assigned key, it will automatically repeat those functions for you. So it can create like a program or a software, and you don't need to repeat those functions. If you have to do them over and over again, you can record them, and just by a click of a button it will repeat by itself. So if you've all opened your spreadsheet of sales tracking, let's see how we can do this. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to record a macro where it will sort out your sales of all these sales reps in descending order, which means the highest on the top and the lowest at the bottom. Once we've sorted out the sales, then we can rank them as to who's the top salesperson on the top and who's got the least sales at the bottom. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. So in order to do this, we need to start recording whatever functions we're going to do. So you need to follow the instructions very carefully and make sure you follow each and every instruction, because if you miss anything in between, your macro may not work. And I hope you've all saved the file on your USB or on the computer before trying to attempt to do the macro. Okay, you need to click on the view ribbon on from the top options, and under the view ribbon you will find macros on your right corner, top right corner. Click on macro and click on record macro. Now under record macro you have to assign a name to the macro. So let's say we'll assign a name of rank to this macro, and you need to select a key by pressing which your macro will work automatically. So let's assign a key. Let's say we use A. Okay, if you use a capital A, then you will have to do Control Shift A. If you use a small a, then Control A is fine. Now you also need to give a little description to the macro. So as we discussed before, what this macro is going to do is it's going to sort your sales of all these salespeople in descending order and then rank them accordingly. So we'll say sorts sales in descending order and ranks sales rep. Now the reason why we give this description is so that if anyone else is trying to work on this macro, trying to make the macro work, they will know what the macro does if they read the description. Okay, so once you've done that, press OK. When you press OK, you will notice on your screen there's a little button which says just near ready on the bottom left hand corner. So while this button is there, that means the computer has started recording the macro. Okay, when you want to finish, you'll have to press that button to stop recording. It's like your CD player, so you press play or stop. Okay, so now we have started recording. So the first thing we need to do is obviously sort out our sales in descending order. So press Ctrl J and type D5. When you type D5, it will take the cursor or the cell automatically to your cell reference D5 and press OK. Now while you're there, press on data and click on sort Z to A, which is largest to smallest. Okay, so now we have put an order to their sales. So we've got the largest on the top and the lowest sales at the bottom, and accordingly the sales rep have also been sorted. Now we know that the largest is on the top, so we know Craig Russell's got the top score or the top sales, so his rank is 1. So once again we press Ctrl J. We can't just click on the cell, so we need to press Ctrl J and type A5 this time. So type A5 and press OK. This takes the cursor to A5 where we need to give the rank. So the first rank is obviously 1. Now you need to press Control Enter. Press Control Enter. Once you've done that, use your fill handle to drag it down so that it assigns the grade, but you will have to keep the Control key pressed, otherwise it will just copy 1 after 1. So you need to keep the Control key pressed, use the fill handle and drag the cursor down to 9. So now we have ranked the sales as well. Now press Control Home. You will have a home key on your keyboard, so press Control Home. So what we've done now is we have sorted the sales in descending order and we've ranked these sales rep. So we finished doing what we had to do with the macro. So now we can stop recording. So click on Stop Recording. Now let's see if our macro works. Let's go to cell D8 and instead of 795, let's change that to 1295 and press enter. Now let's press Ctrl A. See what happens? Automatically it has changed the order of sales and it has changed the ranking of the sales rep as well. Craig Russell was on the top. Now it's Susan Smith because she's got more than Craig Russell, and automatically you've got reordered the ranking. So your macro has done all the steps that we've just recorded and what we wanted the macro to do just by click of a button, which was Control A. If you want to do the same thing for Feb, you could do the same thing for Feb, but then you will have to edit your macro to change from January to February, because it will not recognize February here, it will only recognize January. So although if you press Ctrl A on this sheet, it will rank it, but it will not sort your sales in descending order, let's say. So see how it gives the ranking, but it does not sort your sales in descending order because this says February and not January. So we'll have to edit the macro to change it to February.